Hey, what's up everybody? Doing a little different type of video here today. In this video here, I'm going to explore my other interest, which is, well, pretty much fixing anything with a motor or engine in it. I am going to be working on this Oreck XL vacuum cleaner here, and I'm going to be replacing a couple parts in it here. One of which is going to be to show you how to replace a belt. I'm going to also quickly show you how the bag is replaced, and also the motor fan housing, which also acts as where the handle connects for the neck here. I'm also going to be replacing that because it infamously breaks on pretty much all of these. And for reference, just in case anybody wants to know, there's the model and serial number. So if you pause that, you can take a look. I'll try to remember to throw the parts that I use in the description. I got them all on Amazon, so if that helps anybody locate those parts, it's a good place to start out. eBay also is another good place, but Amazon I like because it's easier if I have a problem to return stuff than it is to deal with some random person on eBay. So without further ado, I'm going to get the camera set up on tripod, and we're going to go ahead and get this tear into this Oreck here. So some of the stuff you should need is really, I mean, at the end of the day, you could probably get away with just having your basic Phillips head screwdriver. Nothing special. I have a flathead screwdriver here just in case for any kind of prying, and I just have my pocket knife that well, it used to be red, but it faded. It's pink. Don't judge. Anywho, this is the motor housing, or fan housing, I should say. And this is also where the handle connects at the top of this guy here. And then this little clip is what holds the bottom of the dust bag. And the fan actually goes in here, and this pivots with the handle when you go back and forth. Well, these break and crack literally all the time. I've super glued ours twice, and it's just not holding up anymore. So we're going to be replacing that guy. I got the belt here. I got 2-pack. And this is the part number that was on it there. It looks like it's X0000TEH2F. Usually if you just search Amazon Oreck XL belts, you should be able to find them. And then this here is the, this is like a felt gasket. They call this the fan seal for all Oreck uprights. So this is it here. Part number 430000. That's 4 zeros, 885. Once again, if you just search Amazon, I'm sure you'll find that just like I did. Pretty simple vacuum to tear apart. Not honestly a huge fan of these. These kind of just have more of a cult following. I think they do a decent job when they're working, and as long as they're maintenance, they do really well. However, they're actually pretty cheaply made, and the reason why I think that is A, for cost, to make them cheap, but also in addition to that, these vacuums are extremely light. They're famous for being 8 pounds, so they're very easy to carry. So that's, I think, where a lot of the following. So what you're going to do here is you're going to first just go ahead and remove, obviously make sure your unit is unplugged. I mean, that should be common sense there. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed here. Go ahead over here, take out this Phillips head screw. And what we're doing is we're just removing the bottom plate to get started. Go ahead and take this one out. And over here. Go one here in the middle. That one's a little tighter. It should be loose enough. I'm trying to do this one-handed. It should just come up. Might have to loosen this one a little bit more. It feels like it's still got a couple teeth on it. Let's see if that does it. There we go. So this plate here and the screws, you can either leave them in there, or if you want to dump them out, you can. Just to put them in a safe place. They just kind of hang in there, as you can see how they're hanging there. That's what the bottom looks like there. Or the inside, I should say. So this one here is technically broken. It's supposed to have these metal things that go to 2 or 3, I think, metal protectors, just more or less to keep you from getting anything large stuck in there, but it still works. This little section right there, that's actually for storing a spare belt. Put that aside, and then for simplicity purposes, we're going to go ahead and disconnect the belt, because we basically are going to somewhat be working on removing the motor here a little bit. The belt's getting replaced anyway. This is one way to change the belt. There's a side panel on this side with a screw in it, which I'll show you here. Actually, I can show you now real quick. If you take this screw here out, and this is on the left side of the vacuum, this whole section right here pulls forward that you can access to get to the belt to loop it on the shaft of the motor there. But I don't think I'm going to have to do that. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and carefully pry it off with my finger off the motor. It shouldn't be too difficult. I've been able to do this before without taking that side off or off the brush roller. It doesn't matter, just so it comes off. Like I said, the only reason why I'm even doing this is because I got to take the motor out, so I just figure it's a little easier to. So the belt's coming out anyway because we're replacing it because it's stretched a little bit. So just go ahead and take that and throw that to the side. So now this part here, I'll try to prop it up a little bit. So this part here, there's going to be a screw here, and then a screw back down in here that we have to loosen up. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But before I go any further, one of the things that we can do here is this on the bottom of the handle. If you twist this thing here, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, and then once you twist it, should be able to somehow turn it, loosen it, and then the handle will separate. A little hard to do one-handed, but we'll try. Yeah, I might have to prop you up here. But yeah, this shaft comes out of here, and this is, there we go, I think I'm getting it now. Usually isn't difficult to do, but when you're trying to record. Oh. Let me get you set up here on the tripod so you can kind of see. All right, there we go. Now I can get both hands. So this part here just literally comes out of here. Like so. And before you do that, I don't know how well you can see this, but on the back of the bag there's a little clip that you have to pull up and out of the bag. So I'll try to get that in camera there. So you basically just take it and push it up like that, and then the bag just kind of folds up. That should give you that extra movement that you're looking for to release it. And that can just honestly sit there. Now you might get some dirt that falls out of here, but now that that's disconnected, it can just kind of hang out there and do its thing. So, all right, so before I start taking this screws out, I'm gonna go ahead and set you up on tripod so you can get a more stable look while I'm doing this. Okay, hopefully you can get the general idea of what's going on there from that view. Grab my Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to go in no real particular order, but we're going to loosen up this back screw here. And I think they call this, there's a name for this. This is some kind of, I think, pivot nozzle, I think is what they call this. I think that's what it's called, is a pivot nozzle. So normally that just pulls out of there, but we may have to take the whole motor out together. Put that screw aside in a safe place. They should be the same size. Go ahead and take this out. I apologize, kind of a rookie here. I haven't worked on this unit in a while. I mean, I had it apart a few days ago to physically clean it because it was filthy dirty inside, but I didn't pay that close attention to what I was doing. So this is where it gets tricky. So this part, getting the motor out of here. So this part we're going to put aside. We're going to be replacing the felt gasket on here too. That's the part I ordered of it. I'm going to set that aside. And then this part here, make sure you're in view, is going to kind of, you have to kind of pull it up and the whole motor is going to come out. Don't be alarmed. You just got to kind of work it until you figure it out. This slides out and you got to kind of twist it and turn it. So what I do is I kind of lift the motor and this up together and then pivot it this way and lift it up. So this part here, which you can't really see, but that's all super glued and it's just not going to make a good seal. So we're just gonna pitch that. I got the new one here from Amazon. It's all pretty much just put it back in the same way you got it. So I'm gonna get that pushed through there the best I can. This was, if I recall, a little tricky to figure out last time. I can't remember how I did this. It's always seemed to get me. There we go. Not backwards. Alright, so you put it in like that. Jeez, man, I'm struggling today. So this is goofy. I mean, I'm sure there's a science behind how to get this in here. Bear with me, guys. I'm trying. I swear I'm trying. There we go. And then how did I... twist it this way. See, it doesn't... It's funny how it wants to go in the one way, but it doesn't want to go in the other way. It's hilarious. Like, how do they make something? Aha! Alright, so now there's a metal like sheave on here. This is like a gasket that has to go into here. Like so. And it just slides in, just kind of give it some pressure. And then at that point, it's just a matter of lining up your motor here. Which, I'm trying to figure out how I did that. Oh, you just line the motor back up into here where the shaft is. You'll see it. It sits down to screw the little ears that stick off, the plastic ears for where the motor bolts in, basically just position over their original location. Now I like to go a step farther and just make sure all the wires aren't pinched. Make sure they're not pushed against this metal coil that's in here. It just kind of gives it that extra level of security that, you know, it's not going to burn them. So now that's done. Make sure you're still in view here. We're going to go ahead and replace this gasket. Now I've never done this, so I'm going to go ahead and open up the new one here. I'll try to. It looks like it just has some kind of double stick tape on it from the looks of it. Or some kind of, yeah, you just got to take this off, I guess. Yeah, okay. So I got the gasket aside. Should make sure it's the right one. It looks like it. Okay. Oh boy, that is sticky. All right, so now I'm going to try not to stab myself here in the process. I'm going to go ahead and take this and just kind of dig it off of here. Hopefully it just comes off nicely and I don't have to... That's not too bad. That wasn't too bad. I'm going to just clean it up a bit here. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause you guys for a minute. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to see, I think there might be the sticky part actually came off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the sink and I'm just going to kind of scrape some of this adhesive background off of here because I don't know how well that's going to stick to there. So I'll be back in a second once I do that. Okay, we're back again here. I tried to clean the adhesive off of the old stuff. I used some adhesive remover. I just ended up making a mess. I'm going to go with the good old-fashioned, just throw it on there and call it a day. Because, I mean, that stuff is pretty sticky. And, I mean, this vacuum is, I don't even know how old it is. Probably somebody out there in the comments that's an Oreck person could probably chime in and tell me. This gasket doesn't look like it's the greatest quality, but that's what you get when you get aftermarket junk. But anywho, so I'm going to go ahead and just make sure it's nice and secure like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And all this is it creates a seal for the motor so it doesn't blow dust everywhere. So now that's done, it just basically slips into little grooves here and get everything lined up here. I think this has to go like so. Something like that. I just got to get everything lined back up again here. Not sure what just happened. I don't know if it's smarter to just put that in and then push that through. It's one of them things where it's like, how does this go together, you know? But I do promise you, this isn't a hard job. It's just funny when you're working with new parts how nothing wants to go together. It's hilarious. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere here. All right, so that's in place. That needs to go back to where it was. How was this all in here perfectly a minute ago? Now, okay, now, weird. Something like that. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that was way more difficult than it needed to be, but we got that in there. Check the wires, nothing's touching anything. Everything's plugged in still. So we can go ahead and put our screws back in. Just a very bizarre design, you know. It makes sense, but at the same time, like when you're in here, it's just kind of tedious because everything's just so closely fit together. Now you don't want to over-tighten these and crack them. You just want to kind of snug them down. And then, like I said, just a very bizarre design. You know, I like that. Like I said, these are all the same. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'd already been in here cleaning this stuff up and maintaining it, because what happens when this fan housing breaks, it causes the dirt just to fill up inside here. It just literally fills it up. So I'll bring you in for a little closer observation there. So this is what we're dealing with here. We got this back there in these, down in these little slider grooves. New gaskets in place on the neck. That screw is put back into place back there. That screw there, that screw down there. Like I said, just check to make sure your wires aren't, you know, touching any of this metal here, just to keep them from melting. Kind of make sure everything's in place. Good time to clean all the dirt out of here. Compressed air works good for that. Check to make sure your brush roller is in good shape, which it is in very good shape. It's actually not that old, to be honest with you. So that's in good shape. That's positioned. So now we'll go ahead and get a new belt put on here. I'm going to put you back up on tripod again here so you can see what I'm doing. And hopefully the camera doesn't fall over again. Alright, so as far as the belt goes, go ahead and open that up. What I like, these are actually Oreck belts too, it looks like. It's cool. I like to get it on the end of the brush roller here, and then use my fingers to carefully, without pinching yourself, pull back and position over the shaft of the motor, and that's it. It's on. As you can see, that was not difficult at all. And then if you want to make sure it's on good, just roll this, turn it backwards, and that will just ensure that your belt's on securely. So that's done. That's good. Looks good. Everything's spinning nice and freely. That's all secure. Now we can go ahead and honestly just put the bottom back on. There's no reason not to put that on if everything's clean. Go ahead and slide that in there, like so. If you want, you could put your spare belt in here. There you go. Just make sure it's pushed down so it doesn't grab the carpet when you're vacuuming and it pulls off. Run that down. Run this down. Make sure, and you always want to check to make sure this white gasket is nice and pressed securely and into place. Like you'll see what I mean. You just have to make sure it's in the right grooves. Now, with that snug, we could probably just flip the guy over, and now we can reinstall our handle back into its groove, which is basically just slide it in like that. And then this coupler comes down. Try to get the bag out of the way. There's an O-ring on here that you got to kind of roll down. That's to seal it. You want to take it all the way down, bring your cup down, twist it, and then we'll go ahead and turn this around here. Hopefully that wasn't just it cracking already. Wouldn't be surprised. These things are garbage. This design, that clips in, and that's pretty much it. That's how you basically change the fan motor housing. I'm just going to open and close it a few times, make sure everything's good. As far as changing the bag, I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, but if you're interested, you basically just unzip the guy like that, and that brings you up to the bag. Let's see, actually I want to go up a little higher so you can see better. Okay, and then this, if you reach back here, is cardboard, and you just pull, it's Velcro, it pulls together, and then you can there's a little catch release right here, and that's it. And this just slides into this little guy here, so you just slide the new bag in until it clips in place, push it up, make sure it snaps, and that's it. And put it back in here and zip it back up. So but that's it. That's pretty much it, guys. Not much to it. They're pretty easy to work on. So I hope this video helps somebody. Wasn't a great video, but at least gives someone the general idea. you know, of how this goes together. These necks, like I said, these fan things, they crack all the time. They're just made out of cheap plastic. So hopefully, like I said, this helps somebody out. And good luck, you know, and enjoy vacuuming.